Let me ask you something that most people never stop to think about. Right now, as you're watching this video, you are broadcasting a signal. Not metaphorically, energetically, a frequency that the people around you, the opportunities you encounter, and the circumstances of your life are all responding to. Wayne Dyer called this your aura. And before you click away thinking this is going to be some vague spiritual concept, stay with me. Because what he actually taught about this is far more practical, more scientific, and more immediately actionable than most people realize. The word aura comes from the Greek word for breath or air. In ancient traditions across every major culture, Chinese, Indian, Egyptian, Native American, there has always been a recognition that human beings have an energetic field that extends beyond the physical body. That you carry something that precedes you into every room, influences every interaction, and shapes what you attract and what you repel. Modern science has actually caught up with this ancient understanding. Research in the field of bioelectromagnetics, the study of electrical and magnetic fields generated by living organisms, has confirmed that the human body does produce measurable electromagnetic fields. Your heart, your brain, your nervous system, all of it generates energy that extends beyond your skin. But here's what Wayne Dyer added to this conversation, and this is the part that changes things. He said, the quality of that field, the character of what you're broadcasting, is largely determined by what's happening inside you. Your thoughts, your dominant emotions, your beliefs, your expectations. If you're walking around carrying fear, scarcity, resentment, or desperation, that's the signal you're broadcasting. And that signal is what your life is responding to. If you're carrying gratitude, wholeness, genuine confidence, and trust, that's a different signal entirely. And it attracts differently. This isn't wishful thinking, it's physics, and it's teachable. You can train your aura. That's what this video is about. Here's a way to think about it that Wayne Dyer used frequently. Imagine you're a radio station. You're broadcasting on a particular frequency 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't turn it off when you sleep. You don't turn it off when you're not thinking about it. It's constant. Now here's the thing about radio frequencies. Like attracts like, a frequency can only be received by something that's tuned to it. If you're broadcasting on 98.7 FM, you're only heard by radios tuned to 98.7. The people tuned to 103.5 can't hear you at all, even if you're broadcasting as loud as possible. Your energetic frequency works the same way. If you're broadcasting the frequency of lack, I never have enough, nothing works for me, I'm always behind, you become invisible to opportunity, to the right people, to the circumstances that could change your life. Not because the universe is punishing you. Because those things are broadcasting on a different frequency. And you're simply not receiving them. If you're broadcasting the frequency of abundance, I am enough, good things happen to me, I trust the direction of my life, you suddenly become visible to a completely different set of opportunities, people, and circumstances. Dyer was very specific about what determines your broadcast frequency. And it's not what most people think. It's not your circumstances. It's not your bank account. It's not even your past. It's your dominant emotional state. Not how you feel on your best day. Not how you feel when things are going well. Your dominant emotional state, the emotional climate you live in most of the time. Gratitude, trust, wholeness, genuine appreciation for what is, these create one frequency. Fear, comparison, resentment, scarcity, desperation, these create another. The work of training your aura is the work of shifting your dominant emotional state. Consistently, deliberately, daily, and that's exactly what the rest of this video is going to show you how to do. Have you ever been around someone and just felt good? Like the room changed when they walked in? Like being near them made you feel more possible, more alive, more capable? That's what a trained aura feels like from the outside. And then there's the other kind of person. You know them too. The ones where you feel your energy drain slightly every time you interact. Where conversations leave you feeling smaller rather than larger. Wayne Dyer spent decades studying what made the difference. And his conclusion was simple but profound. The people who consistently attract, who draw good things, good people, and good opportunities into their lives, are not doing so by performing. They're not faking positivity. They're not plastering a smile over genuine pain. They have done the inner work to align their actual inner state with what they want to experience in the outer world. They've dealt with their resentments, not buried them, dealt with them. They've done the work of forgiveness, not because the other person deserved it, but because carrying resentment darkens the frequency. They've cultivated genuine gratitude, not as an affirmation, but as a real, practiced way of meeting each day. And crucially, they've stopped broadcasting desperation. This is the big one. Desperation has a very specific frequency, and it's one of the most repellent signals a person can broadcast. It communicates need, scarcity, and lack. And ironically, it pushes away exactly what you need. Wholeness, on the other hand, the sense that you are complete right now, before external circumstances change, has an entirely different frequency. It's attractive. It communicates abundance. It signals that you are someone worth connecting with, working with, investing in. The path from desperation to wholeness is not linear and it's not quick. But it starts with a set of daily practices that Wayne Dyer was very specific about. Let's get into them. Step 1 in training your aura is what Wayne Dyer called cleaning your inner frequency. And the primary tool for that is gratitude. Now I know gratitude gets talked about constantly. It's on mugs and Instagram posts and has become almost a cliché. But I want to give you the version of gratitude practice that Dyer actually taught, because it's more specific and more effective than what most people are doing. The difference between generic gratitude and actual frequency shifting gratitude is this: feeling. Most people practice gratitude as a cognitive exercise. They list things they're grateful for. 3 things in the morning. It's fine, it's better than nothing, but it doesn't actually shift the frequency. What shifts the frequency is feeling gratitude in your body. Not thinking it, feeling it. Here's how to do it. Sit quietly, think of one thing. Just one, that you genuinely appreciate. It doesn't have to be big. The morning light, your coffee, a person who showed up for you, a moment from yesterday that was actually good. Now, instead of just noting it, feel it. Feel what it means to have that thing. Feel the warmth of it. Let it expand in your chest. Breathe into it. Stay with it for at least 30 seconds. That feeling, that warmth, that genuine appreciation, is the frequency of abundance. And you just broadcast it. Do that practice every single morning before you check your phone, before you get out of bed, before the day's noise starts. 5 to 10 minutes. One real thing, felt genuinely. Over time, weeks and months, this practice changes your baseline frequency. Your default broadcast shifts from scarcity to sufficiency, and your life starts to reflect that shift. This is step 1. It sounds simple because it is. But don't mistake simple for easy or simple for unimportant. This is the foundation. Step 2 is something most people have never thought about consciously, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your words are part of your broadcast. Every time you speak, about yourself, about your life, about what's possible for you, you're broadcasting. And the words you habitually use shape your frequency more powerfully than most people realize. Wayne Dyer was meticulous about this. He taught that language is not just a description of reality, it's a creator of reality. The words you use become the thoughts you think. The thoughts you think become the emotions you feel. The emotions you feel become the frequency you broadcast. And the frequency you broadcast determines what you attract. So let me give you some specific examples of frequency-lowering language and the higher frequency alternatives. Instead of, I can't afford that. Try, that's not where I'm choosing to put my money right now. The first puts you in victim mode. The second puts you in choice mode. Same financial reality, completely different broadcast. Instead of, I'm so stressed. Try, I'm working through a lot right now. The first is a state you're stuck in. The second is something you're moving through. Instead of, nothing ever works out for me. Try, I'm still figuring this out. One closes the door, the other keeps it open. Instead of, I'll be happy when. Try, I'm choosing to find something good in today. One defers your frequency to a future condition. The other claims it now. These are not just positive thinking tricks. They are actual frequency calibrations. The language you use with yourself and with others is constantly either raising or lowering your broadcast. Start listening to how you talk about your life. For 1 week, just notice. You might be shocked at how often the language is pulling your frequency down without you realizing it. Step 3 is a morning practice that Wayne Dyer recommended throughout his career, and that you can start tomorrow. It takes 10 minutes, and if you do it consistently, I promise you will feel a measurable difference in your frequency within 2 weeks. Here's the exact sequence. Minute 1 and 2. Before you get up, before you check your phone, lie still and do what I described in step 1. Feel genuine gratitude for one real thing. Let it fill your chest. Breathe into it. 2 full minutes. Minutes 3 and 4. Set your intention for the day. Not a to-do list. A being intention. Ask yourself, who am I choosing to be today? What quality of presence do I want to bring to my interactions? How does the person I'm becoming show up on a day like today? 2 minutes sitting with that. Minutes 5 and 6. Speak your I am statements out loud. This comes directly from Dyer's book Wishes Fulfilled, which is one of the most powerful things he ever wrote. 3 to 5 statements, said slowly, with feeling. I am enough. I am moving in the right direction. I am someone who attracts good things. I am at peace with where I am. Feel each one. Minutes 7 and 8. Movement. Get out of bed, stretch, walk around, make your coffee, but do it with intention, not on autopilot, not while scrolling. Feel your body. Feel yourself physically present in your day. Minutes 9 and 10. One conscious breath before the noise starts. Deep in, slow out. One clear moment of choosing how you want to enter your day. That's it. 10 minutes, every morning. The reason this works is that you're front-loading your frequency. You're starting your day by deliberately calibrating your broadcast before the world starts pulling at you. And a day that starts from a calibrated frequency looks, and feels, dramatically different from one that starts from reaction and noise. Step 4 is something people underestimate, and it's this: your physical presence is part of your aura. How you walk into a room, your posture, your eye contact, the pace at which you speak, the quality of your attention when someone is talking to you, all of this is part of the signal you broadcast. This is not about performance. This is not about being fake or performing confidence you don't feel. Wayne Dyer was always very clear about authenticity, but it is about becoming conscious of how you're showing up physically, because your body and your frequency are not separate systems. They influence each other constantly. Research in psychology, specifically Amy Cuddy's work on what she calls presence, confirms what Dyer taught intuitively. How you hold your body affects your hormone levels, which affects your emotional state, which affects your broadcast frequency. It's a loop, and you can enter it from either end. When you consciously choose to carry yourself with uprightness, not arrogance, not performance, just genuine physical presence, it shifts your inner state. Which shifts your frequency, which shifts how others respond to you. Practically, this looks like walking at a deliberate pace rather than rushing anxiously. Making real eye contact when you speak to people rather than glancing away. Breathing from your belly rather than your chest. Not shrinking when you enter a room. These are small things, but they are not small signals. They are part of your broadcast, and the world reads them more accurately than you might think. Dyer used to say, be the presence you want to attract. Not perform it, be it. There's a difference. Performance is hollow. People can feel the hollowness. Genuine presence is magnetic. People can feel that too. Step 5 is the one that makes some people uncomfortable. But I'm going to say it anyway, because Wayne Dyer said it plainly and he was right. The people you spend the most time with are part of your frequency. Not because you should avoid anyone who's struggling. Not because people in pain aren't worth your time. But because extended proximity to chronic negativity, persistent complaint, resentment, scarcity thinking, victimhood, does affect your frequency over time. It's just physics. Dyer often referenced the work of psychologist David Hawkins, who spent decades studying human consciousness and what raises and lowers it. One of Hawkins' consistent findings: the emotional climate of the people around you influences your own emotional set point more than almost any other environmental factor. This means that raising your frequency isn't just an inner game, it's also a relational choice. The practical application is not dramatic. You don't need to cut people out of your life. But you do need to be conscious of: who do you feel energized after spending time with? And who do you feel drained by? That's information. Use it. Are there relationships in your life where the dominant tone is complaint, gossip, or mutual negativity? What would it look like to gently shift those interactions towards something more generative? Are there people you've been avoiding, the ones who challenge you, who believe in what's possible, who operate from a frequency you want to match, and have you been choosing comfort over growth? Dyer's teaching here was simple. Surround yourself, as much as possible, with people who broadcast the frequency you want to inhabit. Not as an escape from difficulty, as a calibration of possibility. Before we get to the 30-day plan, I want to quickly cover the most common mistakes people make when trying to raise their frequency. Because doing the right practices while making these mistakes is like running with the handbrake on. Mistake 1. Practicing gratitude while holding on to resentment. These two things cannot coexist at full strength. Resentment is one of the most frequency-lowering states a person can be in, and it works quietly, underground, like a slow leak. If there's someone or something you haven't genuinely forgiven, that unresolved resentment is pulling your frequency down every single day. Dyer was very direct about this. Forgiveness isn't optional if you want to raise your aura. It's the floor. Mistake 2. Performing high frequency while feeling low frequency. Faking positivity. Saying the right words while feeling the opposite. This doesn't work, and your body knows it doesn't work. The practice isn't performance, it's genuine calibration. If you're not there yet, start smaller. Something you genuinely feel grateful for, not something you think you should feel grateful for. Mistake 3. Doing the practices inconsistently. 1 morning of gratitude and 1 week of unconscious reaction. The aura training Dyer taught is a daily practice, not an occasional one. Consistency over intensity. Every single day, even briefly, is worth more than 3 intense sessions a week. Mistake 4. Measuring too early. People expect their frequency to shift in a week, and when they don't see immediate results in their external life, they give up. The internal shift comes first, and it's subtle. The external results follow, and they take longer. Trust the lag, keep going. Mistake 5. Mixing the practices with self-criticism. Noticing that you're broadcasting a low frequency and then beating yourself up about it, which is itself a low frequency. The practice is notice, redirect, continue. No self-judgment, just noticing and choosing again. Alright, here is the exact 30-day plan. This is not vague, this is specific. Do this every day for 30 days and I promise you, you will feel a measurable shift in your frequency. And the people around you will feel it too. Every morning, 10 minutes. The sequence I described: 2 minutes of felt gratitude, 2 minutes of intention setting, 2 minutes of I am statements, 2 minutes of conscious movement, 2 minutes of 1 deep breath before the noise. Every evening, 5 minutes. Before bed, lying still. Ask yourself 3 questions and write the answers in a journal or just hold them. What did I genuinely appreciate about today? Where did I catch myself in low frequency and redirect? Who am I becoming through this practice? Every day, language audit. At least once during the day, pause and listen to how you're talking about your life. Catch 1 low frequency phrase. Replace it consciously with a higher frequency alternative. Week 1. Focus only on the morning practice. Don't add anything else, just the 10 minutes every morning. Get that consistent before adding more. Week 2. Add the evening reflection. 5 minutes before bed, just the 3 questions. Week 3. Add the language audit. 1 conscious redirect per day. Week 4. All 3, every day. And add 1 thing. Intentionally spend time with someone whose frequency elevates yours. 1 conversation, 1 hour. Notice how you feel afterward. At 30 days, look back at where you started. Not at your external circumstances, those shift more slowly. Look at how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. How you're sleeping, how your conversations are going, how you're carrying yourself. That internal shift, that change in your broadcast, is the aura training working. And from that shift, the external world begins to respond differently. Before you go, subscribe if this gave you something. New Wayne Dyer content every week. Hit like, leave a comment. Tell me where you are in your frequency work. I read every one. Don't die with your music still in you. Before you go, if any part of this video made you stop and think, that's not an accident. Wayne Dyer believed that the right message finds you at exactly the right moment. Maybe this was yours. If it was, hit subscribe. Not because I'm asking you to, but because there are more lessons like this one waiting for you on this channel. And you don't want to miss them. Hit the like button if this added something to your day. It takes 1 second and it helps more people find this content, people who might need it just as much as you did. And turn on notifications, so the next lesson shows up before life gets in the way. I'll see you in the next one. Don't die with your music still in you.